Good morning. So today I am going to be sharing what Alfie eats throughout the day. So he is nearing 9 months, so he's got about 10 days before he's 9 months. I didn't film this morning, but he had a 7-ounce bottle of milk when he first woke up, which was about 6:45, and it is now 8:15 and he's about to have his breakfast. He does normally just have Weetabix for breakfast. I do try and give him porridge and things like that sometimes, but he just never seems that keen. So I am persevering, but I am just going to give him Weetabix today. So he does now have a whole Weetabix. So he used to just have half, but he has a whole one now with banana in it, and that then keeps him going for the morning. So he used to have a morning bottle about 10 o'clock, but he sleeps through that now. So he just has Weetabix, and then after that his next thing will be lunch. So I will say that Alfie wasn't as keen on food at the start as my daughter Emmy was. She was always like on it for the food from the start, whereas he's been a bit slower, but he's getting there now, so I'm quite pleased about that. So he likes most things I give him, even if, like I say, he's not keen like the porridge. He does eat some of it and then he just sort of loses interest quicker, I find. But so far, touch wood, he's not a bad eater, so let's hope it remains that way. I know obviously as they get older it does change a little bit, but Emmy's still quite a good eater, so I really hope Alfie is the same. So for his Weetabix I use whole milk. I don't use my breast milk, and he's fine with it. I just want to get him used to the taste of cow's milk a bit for when he switches over. I plan to switch him over to cow's milk from my milk when he's 1. So I just put a little pot of some milk in the microwave, 20 seconds or so it's a bit warmer for him. So with Weetabix and things, I know as Emmy got older she used to sort of, I don't know if I did it with Weetabix, but other breakfast she used to just use her hands, but I don't know. Oh, I love a Weetabix sneeze. But I don't know, I feel like with Alfie, I don't know if it's because Emmy is now 3 and she eats obviously a lot cleaner. It's very hard to commit to going back to the messy stage where they eat themselves and they're covered in food all the time. But I know I'm going to have to at some point. I don't think I'm quite ready to commit with Weetabix yet, but certainly other things. And one stage I did not miss once Emmy grew out of it was when they throw food all over the floor. So got to embrace that when it comes back around again. I actually genuinely believe you could build a house with Weetabix when it dries, and it's so hard to get it off their face once it's been there for a couple of minutes. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to commit to that yet, actually. All finished. Did you finish it all? Yes, you did. Now we got that fun face to clean. So I wanted to share my pumping schedule in this video as well. So this morning I got up at 6 o'clock and used my electric pump. So if you're new to these videos, I've got 2. So I have an electric one and a wearable battery one. So I use my electric one in the morning whilst everyone's still asleep, and I usually just do like 12-13 minutes, normally just empty my boobs. I think because my body is now pretty used to it and I'm nearly 9 months in, it doesn't take very long to empty, so it only takes about 12 minutes. So I don't pump in the night anymore, so I just go to bed, pump at 10, and then I'll get up at 6 and pump in the morning. So now Alfie's had his breakfast. Sorry if you can hear him banging, he's playing with his toy. Now he's had his breakfast, I'll usually just keep him in his chair and let him play with his little play tray, and I wash and sterilise my electric pump because I don't use it again now until 10 o'clock at night. So that has all day to dry, air dry, that's what you meant to do. And then my wearable one I sterilised last night, and that had all overnight to dry. So I will now pump again at lunchtime and I'll use my wearable one. So it is now 9:20 and Alfie is going to go for his first nap. He woke up about 6 today, so he normally does go between 3.5 hours in the morning. He's just getting a little bit whingy, which suggests to me he probably is ready for a nap. He normally has between 2 and 3 hours in the morning. Sometimes totally throws me off course and has like half an hour. but normally that's for a reason, like teething or not very well. So hopefully today he has a good amount of rest, and like I said, he normally just sleeps through his morning bottle now, so he tends to wake up about 11:30, 12, so it's just in time for lunch. He is quite good at settling himself for his nap, so normally I'll just put him in his cot and he'll sometimes just roll around for a few minutes and then go to sleep, or he'll sometimes just literally turn his head and fall straight to sleep. He has a dummy, which I try to only give it to him at naps and for bedtimes, because I feel like that really helps him understand it's time to sleep as well. He does have it in the day if it's severe, especially if it's a teething day, because, you know, times are hard when there's also another child in the house, but it's rare. So he does still have white noise, but it's on quite a low volume, so Emmy grew out of it quite early on, so he'll probably be the same, I imagine, because I don't even know if he needs it now, to be honest. So, shall we go to bed? Shall we go to bed now? Looks full of beans now, but I can assure you he is ready for a nap. So it is now 11:45. Alfie woke up about 5 to 10 minutes ago, so he's had just over 2 hours. And I've put him straight in his chair to have lunch. So I'm going to make him some scrambled egg, and I'll just give him that with probably half a slice of toast. So I usually just cut the crust off. He sort of is slowly learning to feed himself with this sort of food. Again, I feel like Emmy picked this up a bit quicker than him, but for some reason, put anything else in his hand that isn't food and he'll put it in his mouth, but put food in his hand and he's just like, what do you want me to do with this? So if I move it to his mouth, he normally does eat it, but quite often I'll just cut it up into really small pieces and feed it to him. So I'll give him scrambled egg and the toast, and then maybe some blueberries or something afterwards. And also, I don't know if you can hear it, but I am using my wearable pump now, so I usually do half an hour with this. Because it's battery powered, it is a little bit less powerful than the electric one, so I usually just do the half an hour. And now I'm not expressing during the night time. My supply has dropped a bit because that's what keeps it boosted, but it doesn't really matter because Alfie is actually only having 3 bowls a day now. So normally around this time I'll get about 4 ounces, sometimes 5. And yeah, so he only has about 21 ounces a day now. So this morning I got 8 ounces off. And yeah, say if I get 4 now, obviously that's 12, and I'll do another pump at 5 o'clock and another one before bed. So I am getting still more than enough actually. And this morning I managed to put another 6 ounces in the freezer. So we're still going well with that. Obviously nearly 9 months in now, so I feel like I'm over the hard part of it. It is exhausting, and I won't lie, I can't wait to never have to pump milk ever again in my entire life. But I'm so proud that I've managed to do it, and definitely glad I bought one of these wearable pumps because it has changed the game. So here is his little lunch. So he's got some cut up toast there, scrambled egg, and I've left him some toast sticks as well to have a go with. He probably will eat all this. He does sometimes lose interest at the end, which I guess is him telling me he's full, although he would always eat fruit still afterwards, so I'll see how he gets on. I do always struggle to know how much to give them for portion control. You know, I just tend to feed him until he doesn't really want anymore, which I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but sometimes I see posts online where people seem to give their baby loads and then others where they give them like much less, so I just do what feels right. Yeah, good boy. That's it. We're getting there, aren't we? Oh, that is the right place, mate. I remember the first time Emmy shoved a whole piece of toast in her mouth like that, and it absolutely terrified me, but it's funny how quick you adjust. So he has finished all of that, and now he's just playing with the spoon. There is quite a lot of egg on the floor, but that's okay. You like that, don't you? Yes. Now I'll probably give him some blueberries as well. So I got just underneath 130 millilitres of milk, which is about just over 4.5 ounces. So I always have to ask the Alexa what the mil is in ounces. So yeah, 4.6 I think she said, so pretty happy with that, to be honest. So all I do with these now, so obviously this is my wearable pump, so I've used it. It does recommend that you wash, sterilise and air dry it every time, but I only use it one more time again today, so I'll just keep it in the fridge up until 5 o'clock and then I'll pump again, and then at that point it gets washed and sterilised for overnight. And if anyone's interested, this is my current fridge milk supply, so that is usually all used up within a couple of days, and obviously there's quite a lot there. So I have 6 250ml bottles, although they do hold a little bit more. Just excuse the dirty fridge, by the way, there's milk everywhere. But yeah, that's my fridge supply, and then what I usually do is if I can't fit any more in the fridge, I'll just freeze it. So I have started to use up some of my freezer supply now because they're running out of date. So obviously the more freezer milk I'm getting out, the less fresh milk I'm going to be using. So that means I'm then freezing more, which is fine because that means I've just got a little bit of an extra supply in there if I need it. So it is now 2:45. Alfie has just had his 7-ounce bottle and I've just put him in bed. I don't know if you can hear him in bed. He's not asleep yet. He's just... sometimes he like makes a noise to send himself to sleep. I guess it's like his way of settling, but I have to go out at 4:30 to get Emmy from nursery, so I'm hoping he sleeps until around then. Ideally, as long as he sleeps for at least an hour, that'll be okay. So whilst Alfie is asleep, I'm going to make dinner for us all. So normally we do a bit of 50-50 on dinner. Sometimes we eat together, sometimes we don't, but depends on the situation of the day. But today we're going to all eat together, so I'm going to make spaghetti bolognese, and that's one of the meals that we can all just eat. I don't really need to adjust it. If we have things like chilli, obviously with the kids, I dish it up before I put extra spice in for us, but spaghetti bolognese is just generic one for us, so they can eat it the same as us. The only thing that is different that I do now Alfie's a baby is I'll use low salt beef stock rather than normal stock, but everything else he will just eat fine. Usually if we have something like that, I try and pre-make it and then I'll just heat it up again when it's time to sit down and eat, because it just makes things a little bit quicker. But I probably won't actually record him eating that because it's a family meal, so I don't really want to whip the camera out, but I'm 99% sure he will eat it all because he's had his bottle at 2:30, so it'll be 2.5-3 hours by the time we actually sit down to eat. So that'll be his last meal of the day, and then obviously he will have a bottle before bed. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be me putting Alfie to bed. Usually we just decide at the time. One of us does Alfie and one of us does Emmy. We don't do them together at the minute because it's just nice to have that one-on-one time with them. So depending on who Emmy wants to have at bedtime is how we work it. Most of the time she does want mummy, but sometimes she wants her daddy. Depends on how fun he's been. If he's been particularly fun that night, she does want daddy. So I'll see where we go tonight, but if it's not me, then obviously I won't be recording that bit either. He does have a 7-ounce bottle at bedtime as well, which is around 7 o'clock. So he'll just have that, and then we'll give him a couple of stories, and then he'll just go straight to sleep. Well, it's 3:30 and Alfie's already awake, so it's only had about 45 minutes, but it's okay, because that's about 3.5 hours, 4 hours till bedtime. So he woke up crying, so I don't know what was wrong with him, but these things happen. So I've just done my 5 o'clock pump and I've got just about 150 ounces there, which Alexa says is over 5 ounces. So I've just done my evening pump, so it's 10:20 and I got 6 ounces off tonight. So I think the day in total I got about 23 ounces. So like I said earlier, I'm still making more than he's drinking. So that's it now. I won't pump again until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and obviously Alfie won't be having anything else to eat or drink. So I hope this has been helpful or insightful, and thank you for watching.